Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to all. We are very happy that this webinar is going to be with volunteers who are working with Athar Center for Psychotherapy and Training. Slowly, people will join. We have a few people who have joined right now. Let me introduce Athar Center for Psychotherapy and Training. At Athar Center, we try to look at understanding mental health. Our main objective is to promote psychotherapy where we can work on enhancing mental health and well-being. This center is in Thane and it is built on two premises. Definitely we use a lot of western psychological therapies like cognitive behavior therapy, rational emotive behavior therapy, but we also look at evidence-based psychotherapy tools based in Indian psychology. So we want to integrate Eastern and Western psychology. According to us, that is the way to move forward. And our main value or purpose of building Atha is inner transformation, to work on your own self so that you can contribute in a much better way, towards your community, towards your country, and towards this world. My name is Asira. I'm very happy that I could start this center, and without blessings of my teachers and God, I don't think any step is possible. So I'm very, very grateful to all my teachers who taught me. I have done my master's in clinical psychology from Mumbai, and then I did my super specialization in psychotherapy from US, where I pursued rational emotive behavior therapy and cognitive behavior therapy. And I've been working with patients who go through anxiety, depression, and many other emotional issues. I've been working for more than 7 years now. And I'm so happy that I'm saying I am working, but today it's not that anymore. I started this center all by myself, but now we have an amazing team with us. Just recently, we got so many volunteers. We have more than 10 volunteers with us who work with their own, they have their own practice, they have their own work, but they give time to Atha. And these are beautiful volunteers that you see with me today. They are working really hard to, promote mental health and well-being. Many of these volunteers are from different states. And I would also like to tell you that I'm highly inspired by their contribution. Today, we can see only some faces here, but many are also working. Many more are there. Some couldn't join today due to some personal reasons. But these volunteers who are in front of you, I'm going to quickly introduce them. I'll start with Uma Madam. She's from Pune. She has done her PG diploma in counseling psychology from Baya Karve Institute. She's now working as a mindfulness based therapist. She works with 5th and 6th standard students. She has her own setup, Know Your Emotions. She works with mindfulness a lot. And Uma ma'am has also attended many of my programs, and she has always shown interest to study more, to learn more. So it's great inspiration for all of us that age is not a barrier. You can just keep learning. And welcome, Uma ma'am.
Hello, good evening, all. So, this is Uma Bedarkar from Pune, and today we are talking about mental health hacks. So, for this year, we have some resolutions for a new year, and
Right.
we are working like mental health with metaphor.
Hmm.
So, my first metaphor is uh,
Okay,
chrysalis.
sorry to interrupt, Uma ma'am, but before you start, let me also introduce others and then we can start.
Okay.
Right. So Uma ma'am is there. Then we have Dr. Swati Govilkar from Mumbai. She is an Ayurvedic doctor. attached to Saifi Hospital since last 13 years. Extensive practice, specializes in Panchakarma. She likes to work on patients' psychological issues, which she thinks is the main root cause of all the illnesses. And again, as I told you, that they also have their own practice. She is herself practicing Ayurveda, but has a lot of interest in psychology. She also has a keen interest to pursue clinical psychology and to study it. So I'm very happy to have her on board. Welcome, Dr. Swati ma'am.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see you all. Thank you.
Great. Then we have Manisha ma'am. She's from Amravati. I told you, right? So many people from different parts, they are just coming together today. She has done her BSc Electronics. Then she did her PG Diploma in Counseling and Psychotherapy from Amravati University. Presently working at Radiant Super Speciality Hospital for dementia and Parkinson's patients. And she also works with the relatives of dementia and Parkinson patients. Unfortunately, okay, yeah, she's there. She's having little disturbance with the network. Uh, Manisha ma'am, if you can just show your face to everyone, we would be happy to see you. Yes, Manisha ma'am. This is Manisha ma'am. Welcome. Then we have Sheetal ma'am. She has done her BSc. She's also from Pune. Sheetal Kawali ji. She's yoga instructor. She has also done her diploma in counseling psychology from again Karve Institute, Pune. She's right now engaged with Sayam project in the schools for 8th and 9th students. She's herself a great learner. I've seen her again. She has been a part of some of my programs. I think what I see from her is curiosity to learn. She just goes on learning and then contributing. Same with Manisha ji herself. I just forgot to mention one point. She's herself going through Parkinson's condition, but she is, I would say, powerhouse of energy. So whenever I look at her, I question my own energy, that how can I get so tired by doing little work? But the work that I see that she does, it's magnanimous. So these are all people who are going to inspire us today. So welcome, Sheetal ma'am.
Good evening, everyone.
Then we have Rameshwari ma'am. She's again from Pune. She has done her MA Counseling Psychology from SNDT Pune. She worked as a school counselor for standard 8, 9, 10th, 11th, and 12th. And now she's again back to the field of psychology with more vigor and more enthusiasm. And she again wants to now start her journey to help people. Rameshwari ma'am has also attended some of my sessions. And the best thing about her again is she writes beautifully in Marathi. And like Uma ma'am, Rameshwari ma'am, Sheetal ma'am, all these people write in Marathi. So the Marathi posts that you are recently seeing on our Instagram page, I would say they are working a lot on the Marathi content as well. So these are the volunteers that we are going to have a nice chat with. So let us start with the topic today. The topic is mental health hacks for daily life. That is what we are going to look at. So all the participants who have joined, my first question to you is, please comment using the comment box. What are mental health hacks? Any idea? And I'm asking all the volunteers also who are a part of this session, what are mental health hacks according to you? Uma ma'am, you have something?
First, I think we should know what is mental health. So, mental health is just managing our own mind or expressing ourselves without judgment. These are all our mental health. And
Right.
mental health hacks is a bit related to that. And those are habits we have to cultivate uh, in our daily life. Yes. Is there any other opinion?
Right. And yes, we will wait for others also. But I really liked how you said these are habits that we have to internalize, to build a resilient mindset. That's a good point. Anyone else wants to add what are mental health hacks according to you? Yes, Dr. Swati?
In my opinion, mental health hacks, this is just like nuskhas, which we generally advise for people or patients. That is, may ye milao, usme wo milao, and then have it, and you will be cured. So, little small tricks how you can avoid your emotional imbalances. Yeah.
Right. Small tricks to avoid emotional imbalances. That's amazing. And we also have some viewers who have said, Parvati, we are missing you. She's also one of our volunteers. She says that it is a tool. Yes. Joanne says shortcuts to ease down your psychological issues. True. Then we have Jayashree ji who says hacks mean some tricks and tips. Yes. So now mental health hacks, as all of you have covered, today we are going to look at what could be your go-to tools, which you can use almost on a daily basis to promote emotional wellness. Right? That's what we are going to see. So all these volunteers and myself, we are going to share what has worked for us and something that can be done almost on a daily basis. So many of us have these life hacks, quickly fixing something. Like I came across one very nice hack. You see this jar, right? Now we might just look at it as a jar, but then I came across a life hack where if you take a rubber band and just put one like this and then put one this way, I'll show you what I've done. So can you see this? Now this can become like a pen stand. This is a pen stand, a life hack. So like these, we will have some interesting mental health hacks that will make sure that your mood is in your control. Okay, so let's start with the mental health hacks also. But now the next question I would like to ask Rameshwari ma'am, why should we learn about these mental health hacks? Can you tell me? Why are they necessary?
Um, as two of our volunteers told us that these are the tricks, the quick fixing things which help us. So, see, we all are not the mental health experts. We are lay persons or common people, and we are working and suggesting something for the people who don't know anything deep in psychology. But mental health is necessary for everyone. That's why we are sharing such. So I would like to say that these are very casual, very on a lighter note, very casual tricks or remedies which are not a very lengthy process or very deep and detailed something which need a deep psychological knowledge, because we are not experts. And these are small remedies and practices which we can follow in our day-to-day life, and using them daily, we should and we can make them as a habit that will definitely help us in knowing, as Umaji said, knowing ourselves. And observation, or we call it in Hindi or maybe Marathi that avlokan, that is a very important uh, factor. Observation is the key to mental health. If we know what's going inside us, only then we can come to some conclusion that something wrong is happening, and then we can what we can say, follow some solution, or then solve it. So
Right.
and the purpose, or the use, what's the use of this, as you asked me, of these remedies, that as we said, we can become aware of what's going inside us, what's the state of mind I have, and then if some stressful situation comes in front of us in daily life, we can immediately using a particular kind of what we can say, this hack or habit, we can come immediately out of it and
Right.
save ourselves really going deep in some psychological problem.
Right.
So that's why I think they're more useful to us.
Yeah, I really loved your point. As she said, self-awareness, self-observation, it will improve your quality of life. These are the takeaways that I could take from Rameshwari ma'am's, input on why we are learning it. Sheetal ma'am, anything you want to add? Why all these participants should reflect on these mental health hacks?
Many times we come across the situations where the situation is not in our control and we feel helpless about it. We don't have deep knowledge about that area. So in such situation, we there is very much loss of energy and we feel very powerless, helpless. So if we take the help from these simple habits or quotes, then for time being we can continue and we can manage that situation, and later on we can take help from we can't manage it. But these are the handy uh, things that
Yeah,
we can manage with.
right. I like the word again, handy tools and techniques that you can start using to manage disturbing situations. But let me also tell you, Rameshwari ma'am did mention these are light-hearted, but I want to add all the tools that we are going to discuss today. They are based on cognitive behavior therapy approach, rational emotive behavior therapy approach, and mindfulness based approaches. So they do have backing into scientific research, but a very good point came across from Sheetal ma'am's input that if you think that after you use these techniques, you need more help, professional help is something that we all should go ahead and take. So this is not replacement of therapy. Please, all the participants listening, remember we are not replacing therapy with these techniques. These are just something that are going to help you improve your quality of life. Anything that Dr. Swati ma'am wants to add on this?
Yeah, I have seen so many patients. Initially, I thought that only medicine is the answer, but then I thought that that is not correct, because there are so many tensions and negative thoughts are building up in the minds of patients, and that are creating the problems. So when we go to the solution for these things, how to tackle these problems with tension, stress, daily life, commuting, or anything like in business or in working place. There are so many tensions they are carrying. So there is a overburden on their shoulders. If we relieve the patients from these mental health, then they can come out of all the illnesses. That is what I have seen. So
Right.
simple, from acidity to cancer, everything lies in your mind. So we can take the correct actions and advice from the therapists. That is what I
Right.
thought.
Right. And that's a very good personal experience also. You're talking from your own personal experience that many a times with a lot of body related illnesses, many doctors have said this, as you rightly pointed out, that there are mental health, underlying mental health issues, emotional issues. Those, if we address, then this mind body connection can, we can strengthen it. So thank you for that point. Manisha ma'am, you are personally, going through Parkinson's
Huh.
condition, right?
Huh.
Anything from your own personal experience?
Yes, yes. I am Parkinson's patient, and my healthy choice is when my dopamine level drop and I find it difficult to walk, I start singing and feel instant better.
Right. So she's already given us one mental health hack also, right? That making healthy choices. So I hope all the participants are listening. That's coming from again her own, experience. that on a daily basis, if you make healthy choices, like for her, it is walking, right? That's going to help you with your dopamine levels and it is going to boost your mood. So thank you, Manisha ma'am, for that input. Now, because she has already started talking about mental health hacks, all the participants, you also have to share with us what are your go to mental health hacks, right? We are very eager to know from you also. But let us start and ask these wonderful volunteers what are their mental health hacks. So let's start with Sheetal ma'am. Share your one mental health go to hack.
Okay, so many times we come across conflicts with other person. So at such times we go on uh, debating and we stick to our point of view, and the conflict remains the same. Means it continues. And what is the reason behind it? That's our ego, because ego doesn't allow us to see the things from other person's point of view. So at such times, when after the situation, if we talk to third person or proper person, then we can come to know about the situation or the other person's point of view, and that clarity will allow us to admit our mistake if we can, because after pondering over the situation, that clarity will make us to admit if we have if we have made any mistake. So that admitting the mistake.
Sorry.
Because yes, what I didn't listen. Yes,
No,
ma'am.
So my point was, so what is the mental health hack here that you're trying to tell us?
That is admitting the mistake is the mental hack. Because I will connect it with a balloon. Whenever we admit our mistake, we feel light, first of all. And what are the benefits? Because it works on our ego also. Our ego reduces. Conflict also start resolving, and we become more humble.
Right.
So
very
yes.
interesting, and thank you for that. You know, as you said, admitting our own mistakes looks so simple. All the participants, do you agree with this as a mental health hack, or have you seen this working for you? And as Sheetal ma'am very nicely connected it to conflict resolution also. It's an easy technique to resolve conflicts. If you know that if you have made a mistake, just admitting it is more than important. And you know, somewhere I heard a very beautiful quote which said, once we accept our limits or our weaknesses, we go beyond them. So, this accepting your own mistakes is a powerful mental health hack. And anyone from this group wants to add anything on this point?
Someone, Javan Satvik, is asking some question. We should notice that questions. So that person is asking.
We can take the questions during the end, because those questions
fine.
are, we can take them during the end of the conversation.
Fine.
So what Sheetal ma'am was mentioning, admitting our own mistakes. Participants, any idea, any thing that you would like to share on this? And anyone from the group wants to share anything on this? But you know, somewhere, just to add on this point, what Sheetal ma'am also said, right? That I heard a beautiful, again, quote which said that the biggest room, you know what is the biggest room? The biggest room is room for self-improvement. That is the biggest room available for us. and we can keep improving ourselves. And I've also come across this, that people who do admit their mistakes, they are able to progress faster. They are they are more flexible in their approach towards life. They are kinder. So all these qualities you can see in people who admit their mistakes. So we have Jayashree ma'am, which is similar to the question that, the topic that is going on. That's why I'm taking this. Mental health management is domesticating the ego. It might be very difficult for people to shed their ego, to be honest. Yes, it is. It is definitely can be very difficult. But as Sheetal ma'am said, these mental health hacks, we have to make them a practice. And awareness is what is going to be helpful. And from this group, do you have anything? Yes, Sheetal ma'am, you have something to say. Please tell me.
If we remember the sentence, I may not be correct all the time, that will also help a lot.
Right. I may not be correct all the time. Great. So let's go to the second mental health hack. Dr. Swati ma'am, I'm coming to you. I'm very interested to know, what is your mental health hack?
For long lasting problems, we can say meditation will work a lot. But as I said, small tricks, I can include a pause, taking a pause. So how will you take a pause? That the student, 10th class student, realizes that the examinations are just a week away. Then he becomes hyper, he or she becomes hyper. Or a person in a marketing field, if he cannot manage to cope up with the work stress, or at the end of the month the person realizes that the figures of sales are not matching, and then he becomes hyper, so their mercury goes high.
Yes.
And it is very stressful condition. If at that point, if you take a pause on your emotions, like you will sit silently, calmly, and then you start thinking, and then you focus on your breathing. So breathe in 1 2 3, breathe out 1 2 3. So this rhythmic breathing will make you more calm, and that calmness will help you at the end of the 1 or 2 minutes, that your wisdom will start thinking on the solutions. So buddhir hi nirnayatmaka, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So buddhi is the intellect. Intellect is the supreme thing which can control your mind and which can control your emotions, and then you will be able to take proper solutions. So you will call your team members, you will focus on the problem, then you will discuss with them, and the final you will take the solution, decision on solutions. So that is, taking a pause is the helpful key.
Right. And interesting again, quite a reflective concept, taking a pause before responding. How many of us really take a pause before we say something? And you must have seen we are very reactive because we are impulsive. We do not take such pauses. Swati ma'am mentioned about Bhagavad Gita, a very similar concept that probably must have come from Indian psychology itself. We have it in dialectical behavior therapy, which is again mindfulness. Mindfulness is again about anchoring yourself in the present moment, trying to observe what is happening and then responding. Even in dialectical behavior therapy, just to connect with what Dr. Swati ma'am said, when you take a pause, you are accessing wise mind. Generally, Dr. Swati ma'am, we have a very nice theory which says that there are 3 types of mind that we have. One is emotional mind, as you said. Sometimes we are angry, we are more reactive because of the emotional mind. It only thinks through emotions. Then we have a rational mind, which only reasons, judges, analyzes, very analytical part. But a balance of both rational mind and emotional mind is the wise mind. The wise mind is what you talked about right now, which takes a pause, which reflects, which thinks, which waits before saying something. So being able to access that wise mind, Dr. Swati ma'am has given a very nice technique. Take a pause do rhythmic breathing at least 3 cycles, and then respond to situations. So thank you for that. And all of you must have seen, right? Yes, Rameshwari ma'am, you have something to add?
Yes, Asira, as you said that how many of us use this technique of pause, because actually we don't take pause. We are we are just habitual to it. So I personally feel that we should start using this hack, or what we can say, the trick she suggested us, and gradually we have to develop the habit of taking pause, because otherwise it's really very difficult for us to take a pause and think and then react, because we have the habit of reacting very immediately.
Yes.
So this should really become habit, using repetitively, I think.
Right. Thank you for reinforcing that point. And tell me something, Sheetal ma'am, Uma ma'am, Manisha ma'am. How do you take a pause? What is your way to take a pause? Uma ma'am can start. I'm very
Yeah,
interested to know. Hmm.
yeah. Pause is actually needed for our emotional imbalance also. Whenever we are angry, if we take a pause, we will not get carried away by that anger.
Right,
So we get time to think over it, or rethink over it, and we
right,
can, instead of reacting, we come to respond mode.
right. And Uma ma'am, classic, she's using classic CBT terms. We can think, as she said, think rightly. So the critical thinking can happen with pause. Thank you, Uma ma'am, for bringing that point. Because all we have learned this in cognitive behavior therapy also, thinking critically, but that can only happen with the pause. So that's a very good way to put it. Manisha ma'am, Sheetal ma'am, you want to add something? Yes, Manisha ma'am, I think you want to add something.
हाँ, हिंदी में बात की तो चलेगी मैम?
हाँ, चलेगा.
क्योंकि जो अपने को एंगर आता है, कभी-कभी टेंशन आता है, वो भी सकारात्मक हो सकता है। उसके पीछे सकारात्मकता भी छुपी रहती है, तो उसके लिए अपन ने अपना खुद का आत्मनिरीक्षण करना चाहिए, क्योंकि सकारात्मकता बहुत बार रहती है, लेकिन जल्दी-जल्दी निर्णय लेने से वो निकल जाती है। तो थोड़ा पॉज़ लेना चाहिए और देखना चाहिए कि सकारात्मकता है या इसके पीछे।
बहुत ही सुंदर तरीके से आपने ये अभी कहा. What she said, just to translate it for people who may not know Hindi, she said self introspection helps us to even access the positive thoughts, and only if you pause you can self introspect. Amazing inputs from this group. I think we can just go on and on to discuss about what Dr. Swati ma'am said, but that's the second important mental health hack. So we have discussed two right now. First came from Sheetal ma'am, which was what? I will say admitting your own mistakes. Second hack from Dr. Swati ma'am, where she said take a pause before responding. Now let's come to Uma ma'am. What is your favorite hack?
Yeah, for today, I've prepared two hacks, like two metaphors. One is chrysalis, which is transformation. Transformation for good, like it is a change we see in our mental health also. Like while growing, we come across teenage, there is some emotional imbalance in that period, and in the age of during pregnancy, we go through emotional imbalances and all, postpartum depression after delivery.
Yes.
And during menopause also we go through the same emotional imbalance.
Yes.
So these are problem creating, like this is a transformation for good health, but we can come above that with the help of some tricks like I have followed during my menopause. I came across, I used to get angry for silly things, and my kids were of teenage. They used to see and they used to get confused why my mother is angry. So I was also not aware of that. So during that period, I went to doctor and all. I went for some help, medical help, and they asked me to go for yoga, meditation, and mindful meditation, which helped me a lot to balance my emotions. So this is a silver lining, like this is a ray of hope for everyone who are going through the emotional imbalances for their different during their different age groups or this thing. That's what I wanted to share.
Right, right. So you are talking about yoga also, and you also said transformation for good.
Yeah,
And I think
caterpillar to uh, butterfly.
butterfly,
So yeah,
right. And I think what you mean by transformation for good is seeing something positive, even in a very disturbing, difficult situation.
yeah, imbalance, emotional um, health we go through. So there is a way for that.
Yeah, there's definitely a way for that. And to add to what Uma ma'am said, right, she gave a very nice mantra here, a mental health hack, that see the positive while you are going through something which is very disturbing or difficult situation. And in psychology, there is one concept called as missing tile syndrome. Missing tile syndrome is basically, you know what? We only see the tile that is missing. Means what? When we are going through difficult times, we only see what we don't have with us. We only see what we have lost. We only see people who have left us. But we don't see what is working for us in our favor. We don't see people who are with us today. We don't see the lessons and the learnings. So this missing tile syndrome is very common with us. And that's what I think Uma ma'am wants to tell us today. That look at the points that are working in your life, even in distress. Right? You agree with me? All of you here? All the participants also, I want to ask you, how many times do we keep telling us? Because one patient came to me the other day and he was saying, going through a lot of anxiety issues, and he said that nothing is working in my favor. I wanted to go to US, there is no clue about my visa, there's so much uncertainty. So he was continuously talking about uncertainty, what's not working, my parents don't understand my goals, I'm not finding a companionship. And I said to him, for every one negative thought, tell me one thing that's working for you. This is a trick. For every one negative thought you tell yourself, respond by telling one thing that's working. And he realized that, okay, uncertainty of US is there, but that time today he's spending with his friends. He's meeting, connecting with his old connections. Yes, parents don't understand, but his teachers, they are actually giving him that motivation to pursue studies in the US. He does not have a companion in his life, right? But he's so interested in traveling. This time he's using to travel. But all those points, the missing tile, he's just looking at what's not working. So thank you for giving such a, looks so easy, right, Uma ma'am? Looks such a easy technique, but it's not. Anyone has any thoughts on this? Seeing the positive point. Yes, Sheetal ma'am.
This reminded me of one story that a father and his son, they were traveling from one village to another. They were poor, so they had no money, and they were walking in the sun was there in the sky, and that father, he thought in his mind that right now I can't give other things to my son, but he's walking in my shadow. So that's the thing I can give to my son. So such a small thing, but he is protecting his son from the sun.
Right. Beautiful. If we just develop this kind of a vision, and don't you think psychotherapy is all about shifting your vision? Because events may not change in life. Sometimes we will get, we will experience difficult events, but how you look at them, how you perceive them. Yes, Rameshwari ma'am, you have anything to add?
Yes, as you said, Asira, that the patient of yours was not looking at the pluses he was doing or the few things he was doing in his leisure time, we can say. So the thing came in my mind that we should look at the bigger picture, and only then we will be able to look at few positive or good things happening or we are doing. And if we learn to summarize, then we will be able to think that few good things are also happening, or what I can do if a few things are not working. I'm waiting for something, I'm trying for something, but meanwhile, because life is limited and time is also limited, so I can do some other things which will really make my time worthy and will give me joy of it.
Right. Looking at the bigger picture, that's another powerful comment that was made. Yes, Manisha ma'am, you have something.
My metaphor is acceptance. रामेश्वरी मैम ने जैसा कहा, I have had Parkinson's for 25 years, so I have lot of experiences, and I counsel Parkinson's patient at the hospital.
Right. So acceptance is your metaphor and is your mental health hack. And she nicely connected it with, to again, Parkinson's is such a difficult condition to grapple with. And even in that, she's living by experience. So huge amounts of, credit to your efforts, ma'am. But as she said again, that what Parkinson gave her, also these experiences, that now she can connect with her patients and people around and caregivers and actually help them. Swati ma'am, you had something. Yes.
Asira, as you said about that, your patient, I have a patient, just 33 years old woman, you can say a girl, and she has so many rejections for her from her boyfriend, from new companies. She didn't have that proper job and everything. So she came to me with problem acidity, severe acidity. So then I asked about her stresses. So she mentioned this. So I directly questioned that, have you had a breakup? So she accepted the fact, yeah, I have. So then I gave her another situation, that if another from her friends group, they have the similar situations, then how will you help them? Find your main dheya. I mean, what we can say, I don't know what to say in your therapy, but I guided her that you find out all other friends and look at their situation like you, so you are not the alone. So find out solutions for others, because life doesn't stop here. It's ongoing process, and failures and rejections we face from our childhood when we start walking. So the child learns to walk without any support. So we can also go through these problems and come over it uh, systematically.
Right. Again, that's a very nice example that you shared with us. And also, Swati ma'am said that the way she interacted with the patient, the way Swati ma'am said that, if your friend was going through this similar thing, then what you would have said. So this is actually, Swati ma'am, you used a technique of therapy that we say that, looking at a perspective, looking at your situation from a friend perspective. Because generally, when it comes to friends, when we advising friends, we are very rational, we are very logical and sensible. But when it comes to our own issues, we get really clogged up. So this is also one more mental health hack we got right now, that whenever you're going through a difficult situation or an unpleasant situation, ask yourself, if my friend went through a similar situation, what advice would I give my friend? Thank you for this friend technique again. So I think we have the first one, admitting your mistakes. The second one, take a pause before responding. The third one by Uma ma'am was focus on the good even during the bad times. Then Manisha ma'am also gave one more, which is acceptance. There's no remedy like acceptance. So acceptance is key. That I'm also typing it on the chat because then you all can see it. Then the fifth one was again by Swati ma'am, that the friend technique. If my friend goes through a similar situation, what advice would I give my friend? Yeah, Parvati, it is more like benefit finding only. So 5 mental health hacks till now. Great. Rameshwari ma'am, I think I'm coming to you now. What is your mental health hack?
I would like to share a technique which we can use and make it as a habit to understand, as we discussed earlier, to understand what's going in our mind actually, because uh, it's so complex. The world of mind is actually so complex that if we uh, sit and think that what is that exactly, so it's really difficult to point out which emotion or what caused it, or what is that is going in mind. So I
Yes.
would like to share a technique in which we can make a table of different emotions which we go through actually, like anger, happiness, sadness, anxiety, fear, guilt, um, inferior, and as much as possible, because it depends on the person. Um, and we will make a table for these different emotions for all the days in the month. We will make a table for the whole month. And at the end of the day, we will try to point out or make a tick mark on a particular emotion. First of all, we will try to observe and we will try to identify and realize that what was the dominant emotion I went through uh, uh, the whole day, or which is the dominant or which was the majorly coming in my mind, and it was affecting definitely my behavior. And we will make simply a tick mark. I know that it's really difficult because we don't observe ourselves, as we discussed, but we can develop this habit doing it daily, or if we can't do it daily, we can do it after 2 days, 3 days, or maybe twice in a week. We will try to do it, and gradually we will develop a habit to, and after some time we will really easily learn to understand what was going in my mind, and it will really help. Because everywhere, as I earlier said, that avlokan or observation is the halfway to going halfway in healing ourselves, we can say. If we only look at ourselves, it really helps, because understanding is the basis of. And later I would like to um, add a few versions of this technique, um, which are more creative actually
Right.
to do.
Right. But very good. Again, she gave a very, very important tool, even which we say in psychotherapy, it's very, very helpful. Tracking your emotions. And she said, definitely you can start with even the entire month every day. But if you don't have that much time, even twice a week, with so many of my patients, when they come into therapy, one of the patients was going through a lot of hurt and depression, loneliness. So sometimes it was like so many emotions that she was not able to understand which emotion I am feeling. So twice a week, like Monday, Sunday, she used to log her emotion. And now we have Google reminders also. You can put on the as a Google reminder, let's say 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. a reminder. What am I feeling right now? And then she used to just answer that. Okay, I'm feeling irritated at 2 p.m. on a Monday. Then 8 p.m. on a Monday, I'm feeling, okay, I'm feeling more fine. So this emotional tracking, as Rameshwari ma'am said, it helps to build awareness. You are self-observant. You can monitor the intensity also of your emotions. To further add to what she said, you can even do intensity like 0 to 10, a scale of 0 to 10. 0 is feeling if I'm feeling angry, 0 is like not feeling angry at all, and 10 is intensely angry. So on a scale of 0 to 10, where I can put that anger. So it can be 7, 8. So this rating of emotions also helps to build awareness. And again, awareness is the first step in self transformation. So again, I will ask participants who are listening to this webinar right now, have you ever tried emotional logging, emotional tracking? And do you think that's going to work for you? Let us know your inputs. So this was the 7th mental health hack, track your emotions. Anyone wants to add anything? The volunteers? Yes, Manisha ma'am.
रामेश्वरी जी ने जैसे कहा कि इमोशन को करने का देखने का, जैसे मेरे को स्ट्रेस और एंजाइटी आती है तो मैं परस्यू हॉबी एंड इंटरेस्ट. मैं एट माय होम माय पेरेंट्स आर ऑल 3 आर पार्किंसंस पेशेंट. मम्मी पापा और मैं 3 पार्किंसंस पेशेंट हूँ. समटाइम आई गेट वेरी स्ट्रेस्ड and worried when I sit down to paint. All my stress and worries go. And because of this painting, मैंने राम भी निकाले.
Beautiful, beautiful painting.
राम.
Very beautiful painting. Yes, this is a nice painting of sunset or a scenery. It's more like scenery.
Scenery.
So I think
Scenery.
yes. So Manisha ma'am, when you're showing these paintings, tell us something. What is this mental health hack?
Pursue hobby and interest.
Pursuing your
Hobby.
hobby and interest. Yes. So, and how does that help you, Manisha ma'am? If you pursue your hobby of painting, how does that help you?
Because of this, at the time of painting, concentration is required, and because of this concentration, all thoughts go away.
Right.
And I feel very, very relaxed, and only painting thoughts are there at that time.
Right.
Because of this, my Parkinson's is in control.
Right. So as you said that when you pursue your hobby and interest, your concentration is, it increases. You're able to focus more. You feel more relaxed. And we are studying today mental health and art therapy, mental health and music, mental health and hobbies. It's a great coping strategy to deal with your mental health issues. Thank you, Manisha ma'am, for that. Very good. Very nice. So she's also showing her, different, artwork, which is very nice to see. Nice, nice. Very nice. So I think we have come till eight important mental health hacks here. And interesting that, all of you are applying these, all these volunteers who shared their mental health hacks, they're applying it on themselves and then sharing it with us. So that's great to see here. So any questions? We will take the questions now that we have from the participants. But anyone wants to add any point from the group here? Anyone wants to add any mental health hack? We can take. Yes, Swati ma'am.
One more trick is when you are in some quarrel or somebody is shouting at you continuously and you cannot control others. At that time, look at that person or that situation just like a picture, moving picture, and forget everything. So, what did the hack know? We can say I don't know, but you can, Asira, you can explain that.
So you look at the picture as in, can you just give an example?
Look at it like a movie. When we go to the movie and we come out of the theater, we forget everything what was there in the movie. Generally,
Hmm.
I don't remember what was going on in the movie, who were the characters, who were playing the roles of that hero, heroines, and everything. I just forget everything. So look at that quarrel or that shouting or that scene, just like a movie, moving
Okay,
through from your through your eyes, and you forget everything.
right. So I think what you're trying to do here is, probably, if I can relate to a psychological concept, this is, accessing the third person perspective. It's like we call the hot
Correct.
air balloon, hot air balloon technique. Have you seen a
Okay.
hot air balloon? It's like you go up and from that distance you see everything.
Yeah, right. Correct.
So you're able to maintain emotional distance from your problem so that you don't get completely overwhelmed by them. That hot air balloon is like you go a bit up, you raise yourself, so you raise your awareness, and when you it's more like a third person perspective, maintaining distance so that you don't get completely carried
Correct.
away in that
Right.
circumstance.
True.
So I think, Swati ma'am, whatever techniques you're using, they have a lot of relevance in psychology, so that's nice to know. So we also came across this hot air balloon phenomenon because of what you shared right now. Yes, Uma ma'am.
Yeah, it's like observing self. In mindfulness,
Yes,
we use that Sakshi Bhav.
yes.
Look at
See,
the
Uma,
situation, come out of it and look at it like.
right. Right, and that is important. And Uma ma'am, we learned this in acceptance and commitment therapy, right?
Therapy.
Observing self, as she rightly said, accessing the observing self. So I want to tell quickly to all my participants here, in acceptance and commitment therapy, which is a therapy in psychology, there are two selves within us. One is the observing self, which is, as Swati ma'am said, only awareness, pure awareness. And one is the thinking self, which goes on analyzing, objectifying, and judging. It's a very judgmental kind of a self. Generally, we are always in the thinking self. Every time we are thinking, analyzing, like right now, all of us are doing this webinar, but we are thinking at the back of our mind. What ACT says is, to deal with emotional difficulty, start accessing the observing self, the pure awareness. Notice who is noticing.
Like a
Notice,
classroom.
yeah, like a classroom, notice what is happening. Now, classroom example, because she said, I want to, so that you understand, I'm telling you, like within a classroom, there is teacher, there are students, they're quarreling, talking, lot of, sharing is happening. So all that's our thinking mind, always in motion, quarreling. But all this mess or all this conversation is happening within the classroom. The classroom is the pure awareness. In classroom, all this interaction is happening. So this is one metaphor. That's why Manisha ma'am said the classroom metaphor here. So all of us, I would like to tell you, because this technique came up, keep on exploring the observing self. Just close your eyes and for 5 minutes, just think, just observe who is observing. Notice who is noticing everything. The fact that we can tell ourselves what I'm thinking, if I ask you what you are thinking right now, and if you are able to share it, that is because you know, we are able to uh, get in touch with the observing self. And in Indian psychology also, as I said, Indian psychology has talked about all these concepts. So in Indian psychology also, we study this concept of accessing the observing self. So I
Chessboard,
think
ma'am.
great inputs.
Chessboard, example of chessboard.
Yes, chessboard also. But I think the classroom example is fine. Otherwise,
Ah,
I'll have to explain a lot much in detail. But this ninth technique is accessing the observing self. Very nice. Great. And I would like to just talk about the 10th technique, which I use, my favorite mental health hack, which has helped me a lot in life. is many of my patients and even us as humans, right? We have so many negative thoughts. You agree with me, right?
Yes.
Every day you take up something, there's like, I won't be able to do this. I'm incompetent. I'm not good enough. Today, some psychologists, they come as clients into therapy and they tell me they have this imposter syndrome. They think that they are not good enough. They think that they cannot manage patients. So this constant negative chatter that we have, what to do with it? What mental health hack can we use? So this is a very nice mental health hack called as cognitive diffusion. Means what? Technically, it is called as cognitive diffusion, but let me explain in simple terms. It means observing your thought without judging it. Means what? Noticing your thoughts without judging them. Diffusion means what? Getting unstuck. How to get unstuck from these thoughts? Look at thoughts as clouds, different, they come and they go. So, in this cognitive diffusion, two things we are highlighting. One, all our thoughts, emotions, sensations, feelings, whether they are positive or negative, they are temporary. And second, all our thoughts, feelings, emotions, sensations, we have to observe them without judging them. So if you get a thought, I'm not good enough, just observe. Oh, nice visitor has come today. Look at it as a visitor. Very good. You came after a very long time. I was missing you. Now you are here. But don't buy that thought. Our problem is we buy those thoughts. We believe them to be true. We don't just observe them. So I did a very fun technique with my client. I asked her and I just wanted to show you, we have these bags, cross bags. We carry these cross bags, right? I told her in this cross bag, put all your negative thoughts. So, use these post-its, write negative thoughts. So she wrote thoughts like, I'm not good enough. I'm going to be a loser. I will never get, a good career in my life. She also wanted to start her business. So she also had thoughts like, what if everything fails? What if I am not able to, be successful? So she wrote all these negative thoughts. And I told her, now keep all these negative thoughts every day with you in the cross bag and carry this cross bag with you every day. Anyway, she carries it. This is called as carrying your difficult thoughts with you all the time. It's a metaphor to tell us that these difficult thoughts, we can just carry them, we can notice them. And they will not disturb you if you notice them. Like, because of these negative thoughts and because she carries it, it's not going to impact her quality of life. Because this patient told me, Asira, give me one technique to eliminate my thoughts. I don't want only these thoughts in my life. But that's not possible. We cannot eliminate thoughts. That's why I said to her that carry them, notice them, but don't judge them. If you start carrying your difficult thoughts with you without getting carried away by them, then you will be able to have a better quality of life. So I always tell my patients, don't be behind eliminating your negative thoughts and emotions. Acknowledge them, notice them, carry them. Don't get carried away by them. So this last important mental health hack for all of you is notice means carry. Carry means notice. Notice your difficult thoughts. Carry your difficult thoughts. Make space for them, but do not get carried away by them. So all the participants, this is the 10th technique, mental health hack for all of you, coming from a concept, cognitive diffusion. I told you all these 10 mental health hacks, they are research based. They are not just our experiences. So I hope you liked these 10 mental health hacks.
Yes, ma'am.
And how did
Yes,
you
ma'am.
find the 10th one? Any input, anything to add?
आप आपने जो कहा कि कितना अपने ऊपर ही डिपेंड रहता है, जैसा एक गिलास आधा ग्लास पानी अपने सिर पर रखा, वो कितने देर तक रखते, इससे बजाय उससे कितना हम किसी के शोल्डर दुख जाएंगे, फिर कमर, ऐसा यानी कि कितना हम उसको साथ लेकर चलते, निगेटिव थॉट को, इस पर डिपेंड रहता है.
राइट, साथ तो रहेंगे वो, नोटिस, बिकॉज वी कैन नॉट एलिमिनेट. सो द पॉइंट इज साथ रहेंगे, बट वी शुड नॉट गेट गाइडेड बाय देम. So this was our presentation for all the participants, 10 mental health hacks, just to quickly revise. The first one was admitting your own mistakes. Second one was take a pause before responding. Third one was focus on the good even during the bad times. Fourth one was acceptance is key. Fifth one was the friend tool. If a friend was going through a similar situation, then what advice you would give a friend? Sixth one was making healthy choices. Seventh one was track your emotions to build awareness. Eighth was pursue your hobbies and interests. Ninth was access the observing self. And the 10th one was carry your difficult thoughts, but do not get carried away by them. So I had a fun interaction with all of you.
Same here, Asira. It was a nice experience, and I learned so many terminologies from psychotherapy.
That's great, Swati ma'am. And it was good that you could join. We hope that we see you more often.
I wish. I want.
Yes, great. Any closing comments by volunteers? Yes, Uma ma'am?
Yes, we did our one intern webinar on 28th of Jan 2022.
Okay.
And it's on mental health habits. This is resolution for per month, a different resolution. So I
Right.
remembered that and I looked back. So I have improved my emotional level, and I'll not get carried away by that. So this is all, this credit goes to you, because I've learned ACT and I am with you for last so many years. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Uma ma'am. But it is also all your efforts to reflect on what we have learned.
Asira ma'am,
And I'm
एक
very
stanza बोलूं?
yes. Manisha ma'am, 1 minute. Rameshwari ma'am
Oh,
wants to add something, then
oh,
I'll come to you. Yes, Rameshwari ma'am.
yes.
Actually, as we are closing this discussion, I really uh, want to share I really wish everyone, uh, the good awareness and success in this journey of, having a very good mental health, because we, from our childhood, actually, we are learning about our physical health. We always learn and we are aware, because if we are ill or sick, we can't perform our different responsibilities. But unfortunately, we can say we are not learned to even know that there is something called mental health also we should take care of and we should aware of, and that's why it's very much, we can say, ignored, or not purposely we ignore, but we are not even aware that there is something we should take care and know about it. So definitely there should be something from our childhood in our, maybe the school syllabuses also.
Right.
There should be something on a very basic level. There should be something which will make aware that I should, and doing it purposely is very important. All the discussion we made here is all about doing something purposely, because this will really not, if the head is aching, we definitely go for some remedy or some medicine, but we just keep going and going with our disturbed mentality or mental state of mind. So it's a very first thing we should think, that we have to do something purposely, and then the other things will follow. So I really wish everyone that everyone will start the journey. Actually, all the viewers are, from all the comments, I can actually say that people are very aware and they suggested many things. But I really wish a very good journey for
Right.
the, what we
Right.
can say, the wellness of our mind.
Right.
Thank you.
Great. So making it a conscious attempt is what we have to see. And I really would like to thank all the volunteers again for such a great participation, your effort really counts. Effort is most important, and you made the effort here. This is your very first, for some volunteers, let me tell you, this is the very first mental health webinar that they are doing online in front of all of you. And I don't think it looks like your first. You were excellent. Great confidence, great energy. So thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. So we can then close for today, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ma'am,
So thank you all the
photo.
participants for joining, and then we can definitely meet again. We will come again with more such kind of mental health webinars. So stay tuned with Athar. Keep supporting us. Keep connecting with us towards a greater cause, which is mental health and well-being. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm going to end the stream from my end.